All right, joining us now, Texas Congressman and Attorney General candidate Chip Roy, along with Pennsylvania Congressman Scott Perry. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. It's good to see you. Congressman Chip Roy, I will start with you. There may be no bad ideas if you're brainstorming ice cream toppings. There are profoundly bad ideas if you're brainstorming constitutional issues. What do you make of Kamala Harris's no bad ideas brainstorm?
Well, great to be on. Great to be with my friend Scott Perry and to follow my good friend Victoria Coates. And, you know, look, I heard about a brainstorming session here, and I thought, well, that's going to be a really short session, to be honest with you. But then I see all this saying, well, there's, no bad ideas. All I heard was bad ideas, literally. This is precisely what Democrats are going to do. It's why I keep reminding our Senate colleagues that they should not be timid. They should be passing the Save America Act. They should be being aggressive to make changes in the Senate to be able to deliver, because Democrats are crazy, and they are going to pack the court to try to reverse the Supreme Court's opinions in Dobbs, last week's opinion on racial gerrymandering. They're going to do this and try to pack or make D.C. a state, make Puerto Rico a state, because they have no real agenda. They only have a quest for power. And what they're trying to do is find every which way to cheat, steal, and do everything to maintain power. That's all you saw in that list of brainstorming ideas. So we're going to keep our foot down on what we need to do for the American people, but we need the Senate to step up and recognize these guys mean it. They're at war with us.
The bad ideas were the Biden presidency, which maybe she doesn't remember, Congressman Perry. But brainstorming suggests they're coming up with new ideas. Kamala Harris just mentioned things that are being talked about by the kind of far left of the party. Does this suggest the fact that she regurgitated all of this heinousness, that what people who were kind of regular Democrats are now not so regular and are very left?
Well, Dagan, great to be with you, and Brian, great to be with my friend Chip. And when you said brainstorming and Kamala Harris, nothing really added up. And I think that's what you get when someone like that comes up with ideas. These are not new ideas. She's parroting the same stuff. But the important thing to know is look, Virginia is a bellwether of what they plan to do. They keep telling us every single day what they will do if they win and when they win. They're not interested in the Constitution. They're not interested in playing by the rules. They're not interested in earning votes. They are interested in changing the rules so that they can be in charge in perpetuity. That's what they're going to do, which is, look, unfortunately, in the past, Democrats and Republicans disagreed on things, but we all love the country. That's not the case anymore. And now it's the difference between normal and absolutely crazy.
I've been waiting all night for you and Congressman Roy to get into this E15 thing, by the way.
Well, okay.
So I just want to, can I tee that up?
Yes. No, you get the first question.
No, I want
this.
Okay, fine. Congressman Perry, I'm going to come to you because I'm saving that little thing for dessert here.
No, Perry's the one who called for a motion to recommit on this bill. So go.
That's the spirit. Okay, so let's talk about this, because this is one of these little, I think it's like the solution-ettes to try to deal with high gas prices. Congressman Perry, I'm the kind of guy who says instead of voting on things to decide what we should do, we should let the market, consumers, vote on things to decide what they want. Is that possible in the fuel arena here?
Well, not under the current paradigm. I told my colleagues a couple months ago that I would fight this with every fiber of my soul, and that while they talk about freedom, the freedom to choose E15, they don't talk about the renewable fuel standard that mandates all of us pay for it, whether we want it or not. And I just got to say this, while we're at war because Iran has raised fuel prices with their activities in the Persian Gulf, leave it up to the Republicans to decide. The best answer to that is to raise fuel prices even more.
I have to clarify, Congressman Perry called for a motion to recommit on the bill, which would have sent it back to committee. It would have killed the bill. But this vote, it kind of split both parties, Congressman Chip Roy. And I hate ethanol in my gasoline. He does too. He owns an old vet from the 70s.
It does not work in that.
It does not work. No. Corn is food. It is not fuel. And the renewable fuel standard basically cost drivers money. And it forces the refiners to blend this ethanol into gasoline. Congressman Chip Roy, this is essentially a bailout for the ethanol lobby. It is a handout to the ag lobby. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Dagan, you're exactly right. I'm just going to repeat what you just said because you said exactly the right thing. Look, we've been telling our colleagues for a long time, we appreciate the political predicament you're in big corn states. But I got to tell you, these corn-worshiping members of Congress are selling us down the river with respect to our refining capacity. They're driving up the price of gasoline, and all of this is a mistake. Now, thankfully, I hope there's going to be some leadership in the Senate to stop it. We should not have passed it through the House yesterday. I stand with Scott Perry, agree fully on the move to recommit it to committee. We should have amended it. We should have debated it because this is absurd. I actually stood up in a leadership meeting and I said, guys, if you want to hand out a subsidy, at least just be honest about it and offer the subsidy. Don't screw up our energy policy, screw up our refining capacity because you want to continue to put corn into tanks and clog up our carburetors, make everything more expensive, make everything with these massive expansions of the subsidies that are destroying our energy freedom and not allowing us to have full market competition. We said, fine, you want year-round E15? We're all for getting regulations out of the way, but get rid of the renewable fuel standard. Let's free up America to do what they do best. And by the way, get rid of the kill switch. Yeah. He's the lead author of the kill switch. I don't want to put government surveillance in my car any more than I want corn in my car.
That kill switch, we could do a whole hour on that.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
and
let's go.
Ethanol has always been an issue down south. You got to drive around and look for a gas station that sells 100% pure gasoline.
It's all by design, Dagan and Brian. We remember the trucks that come up to fill those gas stations only have so many tanks in them. The people in Washington know that, and they're not going to drive a separate truck there to give you ethanol-free gas because it costs too much. They are forced. When they say it's energy freedom, it's everything and anything but energy freedom. It is mandated use of corn ethanol, which gets about 60% of the energy efficiency of gasoline. So not only do you pay more, but you get to drive less.
And smog, too. That's why they didn't allow it during the summer months.
Right.
And all the Democrats voted for, a bunch of Democrats voted for that thing.
And our Republicans are all voting for it as well, which we just had to deal with on the floor on the kill switch and on ethanol. We need to act like Republicans and deliver for the American people if we want to win in November.
All right, fellas, we got to leave it there. Great to see you. Thanks for being with us. Congressman Chip Roy, Scott Perry, we appreciate you.